Hello, welcome back for another devlog on the speedrun game. It's been a week since I had my last devlog, and I said that I would make a new one around this time. I believe what I hoped to achieve was completing the main menu, and that I have. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. First, I want to talk about what exactly I've done this last week. So, the main thing I've done is that I have redone the entire code base. I took everything out, I copied some stuff, the stuff that actually was good, and I recoded everything else that was, made months ago when I didn't really know what I was doing. Technically, this is the third remake of the game, so I really wanted to get the code right so I could continue, especially since, as you can see before you, there's maps being made by someone who's actually good at building, so I don't want to let him down, and I especially don't want the game to lack when the game looks good visually, right? So I recoded it, and I have lost quite a bit of progress if you look at it like that. The old version of the game technically had more because it had enemies and all that. There's not much in the game, you'll see, but trust me that it is very good compared to what it was last time. And yeah, so I mean, let's just get into it, especially on the new features I added, because I have sort of strayed away from remaking the stuff I already made and sort of focusing on features I want to add. So obviously, the main menu. The main menu it's pretty good. I like it. I want to add a changelog here maybe when the game actually releases. But yeah, it's cool. It's got buttons you can click on. You can see the credits. We'll talk more about everyone in here later. And the background too. The background, the camera bob, this thing rotating like it's Terraria. The background is based off your data. I'll show you the slots here. So you have 4 files technically, and they work on difficulty. So these are your 4 slots. You have checkpoints, less checkpoints, no checkpoints, and hardcore. So how the background ties into this is that the background looks at your most difficult slot that you have actually activated. Like for instance, I haven't clicked on these yet, so I haven't made data in these. So it would choose between these two, checkpoints and less checkpoints. And then it finds the furthest point you are in that slot, and then it displays it. I may change the logic behind that just to be the furthest you are in the game entirely. I don't know. For now, it does change, though there is some, there's no actually layer 2, so it doesn't really show anything off. And yeah, that's it. It's pretty cool. I like it. And we'll hop in now. I'll use this slot because I actually have quite a bit on it. And so yeah, here we are at the new map that Auk made for the lobby. I like it a lot. It's a lot better than what I could make. And the lighting could use a little bit of touch. It's definitely not his fault. I have messed with it quite a lot. He gave me an initial one that was pretty good, but I wanted to add more color to it. In terms of the shadows, and then I got lost, and I don't know. I'm not too good at lighting yet. Yeah, also, I added the speed boost thing. You can hover over it to see what it does. It gives me speed. This was a feature in the first revision of the game. I don't think any of the devlogs show this off, because I never did in the second one, but then I wanted to put it back in for the third one. So there it is. The timer works when you die. Your death counter, here, I'm gonna die like right in this corner. Your death counter like pops up, as you can see, and this turns red. Your FOV goes back to normal. Yeah, there you go. Pretty cool. A bunch of tweening, which I don't really like that much, but it's cool. Yeah, so I did that. The portal does not work. If we go over here, you can see it just does nothing. Though there is something I want to show off. This is a new feature. I added recording to your data whenever you die, and it records when you died and where you died. So if you click on the death count, you'll see all the locations that you've died at. So as you can see, I've died a lot on this either first or second jump here, as well as just killing myself up here or falling off behind the island. In this one time I died a few minutes ago, it was right here. Now the time may seem off for you, and the reason with that is it's the universal time rather than your local time. I could add the ability for you to change it to translate to whatever time you select in the game, but otherwise I don't think the game has access to your local time zone, so it can't really see that. Some of these are accurate. The ones at 5 a.m. are, I know that's crazy, but it was when I was in studio, and that's different than the game. I don't know. It's goofy logic. But yeah, so you can see all your deaths. It's pretty cool. I'm going to turn it off, though. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it so far. Having a lot of fun with this remake. It's so much easier to make stuff. You know, when I want to do something, instead of scouring 700 lines of code to find one thing that I accidentally stuffed in between two different functions that are not related in the slightest, I can just sort of look at one that's like 60 and find which module it leads to, which I know that's a lot of mumbo jumbo for those who don't code, but yeah. It's just better, okay? It's better, and I'm happy with it. I guess I'll talk about what I want to do now, like from now on. And with that, next thing I want to add, I'm thinking about adding portals next. I'm sort of stuck on what I want to add now. Like, I was supposed to add portals before I added the death counter, but before that I was supposed to add portals. Or I was supposed to, I don't know, I was supposed to do so much stuff, and I'm just, like, doing stuff that I want to do. And I think it's fun so far, but I think I'm going to do portals next, just so I can show that off next episode. Though the layer may not be done in a week. I don't know how long it will take, especially because I need to code all the functionality for all the things inside of it. Which, speaking of, I did want to add cutscenes. I'm thinking about that. If I do, I'll be sure to do a test and showcase it next devlog, if I do actually continue to do that. I also spent some time sort of rewriting the lore. Not that there was much before, but I just talked to Auk. We're figuring it out. And I have a really good idea that I'd like to talk to him about more, and to do that, I think I need to just work on more features so I can showcase how I could elaborate it to players. Yeah, I don't know. I've got some interesting stuff in the works. It's pretty much, like, I hate to say it, but there's not a lot to show right now. Just trust. And when the next devlog rolls around, you should see more of a actual leap in progress versus just losing progress as I have now. But I'm most certainly proud of this code now. I do think I can guarantee you, give me a few more months and I will hate it. But as it currently stands, it's looking good, and I don't know. I actually have faith in this project, which is interesting because initially I just wanted to like crap it out and throw it on the game page and just be like, yeah, go play this crappy game until it breaks. But now it's pretty good. And I want to keep adding. Like, you know, I look at all the other games because I search up on Roblox, like, oh, speedrun games or something like that. Like, you obviously have Speedrun 4, a classic, right? No one could really do what that game does. That game's great. But that's it. That's it. Like, the other speedrun games, you'll see this one called Speedrunner, which is just like that one Tower of Hell game or whatever, just like Speedrunner edition. I don't know. It's just so bad. It's no one really has looked into this more, and maybe it's because I'm actually sort of not labeling the game correctly, because it's not much. I mean, it is a speedrun, right? But it's, I don't know, it's different. It's got like substance to it. I don't know how to explain. It sounds like I'm like flexing. I don't mean to put it like that. I don't really know what this is that I'm making, and so I'm sort of ranting about that. But yeah, I may rename the game. I sort of like the false name though, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, this is just a speedrun game that's really hard, but there's more to it. I like games that are like that. You know, like, there's a lot of games like that in Roblox that you'll find, like, oh, what is this stupid game, Pilgrimed, and then you play it. It's like, oh my god, wow, where was this? And I don't know. I kind of want to like make a community like that. I've never like had a community. That's interesting to me, and thinking about that makes me so excited. Especially with Auk and I, you know, I don't know. We're goofy people, and seeing a community being made of something I've made is sort of weird. It's more like my past developer experience is more like games I've worked on get a community, and I don't know. I just like look at it, you know. Like I don't know. I've never made something that someone else goes like, yeah, that's cool. So I hope that this game does that to someone, and I don't know what Auk plans to do, but super proud of him so far. I also want to say thank you to Cameron. Cameron's been in the voice calls watching me struggle at 5 a.m. for the last like 3 days or something. And yeah, I don't know. I've lost my mind quite a bit. But oh, we made some funny stuff. We did make an admin command thing. You can do like message hello.
You've got mail.
And it does that. There's some other commands that I'm not going to show off right now. I'll do it another time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. Really excited, actually. And I can't wait to show off more. So I don't know if I'll say necessarily a week. I'm going to say next devlog, 2 weeks from now, I want to have whatever I'm thinking about right now, which may be cutscenes or layer 1 or whatever like big thing that's like really interesting. I want to show that off next. Next thing, okay. Actually, okay, this is what I want to work on. By the next devlog, I want to have the player menu, this thing, active and working. I might not do that. It depends on how fast layer 1 gets done, because that's sort of necessary to make it. But yeah, I'm either doing that or I'm doing cutscenes. So by next devlog, you should see one of those, or at least a test of it. And yeah, see you then, 2 weeks from now. Adios.